G'day everyone, Chris from Primax Sports with the Super Rugby Round 14 preview. Well, Round 13, most of the games went fairly well to script there. Great to see the Sunwolves putting a bit of a fight on the road against the Reds. The Force, geez, they came so close to getting that win against the Blues there in Perth. And were really impressive, certainly starting to show some form towards the back end of the season, which is a great thing for some of their players with international prospects. Some of the other games, the Sharks with a big win, the Bulls got a win over the Stormers in what was a cracking contest, and the Lions did a solid job on the Jaguares, managing to post a half century of their own. Certainly some cracking matchups this weekend as we close in on the finals. Obviously a big break after this weekend with the international window, and then we'll be back into it to finish with the last few games before we head into the first of the finals under the new Super Rugby format. So let's get into this weekend's footy. First up, we've got the Hurricanes hosting the Highlanders Friday 5:30 from Westpac Stadium in Wellington. Wow, this one matched the round straight off the deck. Certainly some promising play from these two sides over the last few weeks, and they're riding high. Really looking forward to seeing the Hurricanes back line take these guys on at home. Plenty of revenge to be had after the Highlanders got them done in the final last year after the Hurricanes had beaten all before them during the regular season. The Highlanders, on the other hand, well, they're on a 3-game winning streak. Certainly been very impressive, and one of the form sides along with the Crusaders for mine. I think that this one will certainly come down to a clash of the tens, Beauden Barrett versus Lima Sapawanga. Beauden Barrett looked a bit rusty last week, as did the Hurricanes in total. They got it done against the Reds, but with some of those players rested, their scrum looked a bit softer than usual, and Barrett's radar seems to be a little bit off. The Highlanders, on the other hand, they've been really strong leading into this one. I'd love to say that the Hurricanes' home ground advantage is going to be enough to get this one done, but I think I'll lean to the Highlanders to get it across the line here 1-12 in a cracking contest. Alright, Waratahs versus the Chiefs, Friday 7:45, Allianz Stadium in Sydney. The Waratahs, they were brought back to earth after a solid win streak against the Crusaders last week over in Canterbury. The Crusaders are a much better side than what they face off again probably at the moment here with the Chiefs, and they're on home soil. Waratahs desperately need wins. They're in a real battle for supremacy in the Australian Conference, and it's likely that only one of those sides will make it. As such, Brumbies have certainly got an easier run home than the Waratahs, so the Waratahs need to make the most of this home game here and try and get the result against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they got the comfortable win versus the Rebels. Cruden was certainly strong again. I'm really looking forward to the matchup of Cruden versus Foley. With no Tamura in the Wallaby squad, extended squad that was named today due to injury. No Beale either as well due to injury. There's a good chance that Foley looks likely as the shoe-in 10 there, and may find himself up against Cruden. So this could be a dress rehearsal of sorts for the Bledisloe matches coming up. I just think that the game's going to certainly come down to the wire. I think the Waratahs can get the result here. The desperation that they have to show, and Folau really clicking there at 13. I don't think there'll be much in it. I think it could come down to a bit of goal kicking, and I look for the Waratahs to get it done at home 1-12. Alright, next up, the Kings versus the Jaguares, two absolute battlers. Saturday 3 AM from Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Port Elizabeth. The Kings, they were held to nil for the first time in their short history, certainly their reincarnation that they're in the Super Rugby as now, and only the second time they've been held trialless this year. So really solid defensive effort from the Sharks, but a disappointing show from the Kings, who have shown some glimpses in attack even though they've been absolutely subpar in defence. Jaguares, they put up a bit of a fight but faded late against the Lions. The Lions were just too good of a class outfit with the Jaguares on the road. This could be the chance for the Jaguares to chalk only their second road win of the season. I can't see the Kings competing with them really. I think there'll be plenty of points scored. Last time these two guys played, it was 73-27 in Buenos Aires. So 100 points there. So I don't know that we'll see such a big margin with the Jaguares on the road, but look for their backs to really counter-attack and take the soft Kings defence on. I expect the Jaguares to get this one done by 2 to 4 tries, so I think I'll be leaning with those guys 13 plus. Alright, another all-Kiwi derby, the Blues Crusaders, 5:30 Saturday, Eden Park in Auckland. The Blues, well, they're certainly the weakest of the New Zealand sides. They're quite inexperienced in terms of caps across the board. Ohio West and Jerome Kane have certainly done a good job leading the backs and forwards respectively for them this year, and Tamaramanga has done a great job with what he's got there. They'll provide some nuisance value to the sides that they take on the way home. Their finals hopes are all but done and dusted. I can't see them getting in there. But as I said, they'll really provide some nuisance value and possibly ruin some other sides' chances and demote them through the rankings. The Crusaders, on the other hand, they've won 9 of their last 10. They dropped their first game of the year and they dropped their game a fortnight ago. Certainly a really impressive outfit, close to the form side of the competition. They've probably got the second easiest run home in the New Zealand Conference, and so they'll be really confident of aiming up for that top spot and guaranteeing themselves a home final in the first round. I can't see any other results here but the Crusaders getting the win. It's just by how many. Even though they're on the road, I think they'll get it done here. I can't see them blowing it out. I think the Blues will certainly keep them in the arm wrestle. I'm going to go the Crusaders to get this one done 1-12. Next up, Brumbies take on the Sunwolves from Japan, 7:45 Saturday night, GIO Stadium in Canberra. The Sunwolves, wow, they at last showed some fight on the road. Admittedly, it was only against a red side who haven't been the best this year, but the red side have certainly improved since the sacking of Richard Graham. So credit to the Sunwolves for keeping within 10 points there. Just missed out on a bonus point, but a solid effort nonetheless. And I certainly think their season so far has been a bit of a success in regards to how late in the piece they came together with their squad, etc., and what they've managed to do with getting a win and a draw there and picking up a fair few bonus points along the way with some hard-fought losses. The Brumbies, on the other hand, they've won their last 2 before the bye. Not convincing, but certainly solid. Really missing a couple of their key backs like Tamura, etc. Really need to step up and put the foot to the throat here and claim bonus point in regards to where they sit in the conference. They do have a game in hand. They do give a game away to the Waratahs, but certainly have a significantly easier run home. I think they'll get this one done 13+, and I think they'll build from here and end up taking the conference for the Australian Conference. Alright, next up the Stormers, Cheetahs, Saturday 11 PM from DHL Newlands in Cape Town. The Stormers only got 1 win from their past 5 clashes. They've lost to the Lions, the Waratahs and the Bulls and drawn with the Sunwolves. It's been a really disappointing last few weeks for them, considering how well and how strongly they started the season. They've now given up top spot in their conference to the Bulls after last weekend's loss to them, and really need to turn things around if they want to secure A, a home quarter final, or B, even just a finals berth. The Cheetahs, on the other hand, they've been disappointing. They showed some glimpses early in the season, but I can't consistently back them. They've really disappointed me. I thought they had a little bit more to offer and would have been a little bit higher up, above the Rebels and the Blues and the likes of them, but they've just really dropped the ball in regards to what they've put on the paddock this season. They look like they're trying to clutch at more excuses rather than try and get results, and for me that's just not acceptable, and it's been underwhelming from them. I can't see any other result with the Stormers getting this one done. Look for them to bounce back and try and build their finals momentum again. I'm going to go the Stormers 13+. The penultimate game of the round, the Bulls and the Lions, Sunday 1 AM from Loftus Versfeld in Pretoria. The Bulls, wow, they've bounced back to form with a strong grinding win there over the Stormers. Managed to claim top spot in the conference with that win, which is really fortunate considering how they were playing prior to that match. They dropped a couple of key results there. They've been led well by Arno Botha at the back of the scrum last week. He really grounded out and was nice and physical, and I was really impressed to see that. Been waiting for him to step up for a number of weeks. The Lions, on the other hand, they had that disappointing loss a few weeks ago to the Hurricanes where they were absolutely pummeled at home. They've put 2 back-to-back wins against the Blues and the Jaguares together and really done a strong job there. I think that they'll continue on here and win the clash of the 2 top African sides, the sides at the top of each of the African conferences. I don't think it'll be a blowout with it being at Loftus Versfeld. It's a massive home advantage for the Bulls there. I think they'll get this one done close, so I'm going to go the Lions 1-12. Final match of the round, All Aussie Derby, Sunday 4 o'clock from Amy Park in Melbourne. The Rebels host the Force. Well, the Rebels only a few weeks ago led the Australian Conference and looked like they were in an absolute dogfight to go through to the finals and potentially make their first finals campaign. It now looks like they're absolutely done and dusted. They've fallen apart. The wheels have fallen off in the last few weeks. Their performance against the lacklustre Chiefs outfit last week wasn't good enough, and they just basically surrendered. Force, on the other hand, they look like they're starting to find a little bit of form. They ground out a battle with the Blues there. They probably should have got the win late, but some drop ball cost them. Certainly with Kyle Goblin back there, they're looking much more impressive, and I'm starting to like what I'm seeing from them. I'm actually going to lean this one with the upset. I think the Force are building in the right direction. The Rebels are going in the opposite direction. I don't think it'll be too much in it, but I'm going to go with the Force to get this one done 1-12. Thanks again for tuning in for another wrap, guys. Great to have you with us. Another great weekend of rugby, some bumper clashes. Two of the big New Zealand sides clashing in the first game on Friday. Later in the weekend, we've got the top of the two African conferences taking each other on. So 2 cracking contests there, and another 6 good contests across the weekend, no doubt. Good luck on the punt this weekend. Hopefully we can do as well as we did last weekend, where we picked up 5 from 7 margins and had a nice little win again. Good luck to your side on this weekend. If there's any feedback or comments you'd like to throw down the bottom, make sure to let us know what your thoughts are. We've been getting a few of those, even via message on Facebook, or shoot through to us on YouTube. Let us know what your thoughts are, how we can do these better. Don't forget to give me a follow on Snapchat, and also the other social media channels, Instagram, Primac_sports, same one on Twitter. Have a look at it, facebook.com/Primac Sports, and obviously the website as well, www.primacsports.com. Thanks again, and enjoy your weekend of rugby.